It's been really fun for me being at every recording session with you, except for maybe the first one, um, was just to watch your progression to and the craft of being an actor and how I think the longer we were recording and the more shows we did, the more that I think you just got into the pocket and you were more and more expressed and having more and more fun and more ideas. And it was just wonderful to watch your creativity. So, um, do you feel like, okay, I'm trying to figure out what the question is. The question would be, why did you want to act in this? Because you didn't have to,
Mhm.
right? You could have had another actor play you, but tell me why you wanted to specifically do this show as an actor.
I wanted to do it myself because it's my story. I mean, the series is autobiographical, loosely and wildly embellished. It's all, as Spinal Tap would say, it's all dialed up to 11, but it still follows my journey from soldier to wildlife conservation leader and wildlife expert. And the perspective on nature is mine and uniquely mine. You'll find in my books and in my other projects. And so I wanted, honestly, a little bit, it was ego. I wanted to own it. I also, at a very basic level, and this is a really important point for everybody, is that the key to getting ahead in Hollywood is to own your stuff. You know, it's as simple as that. You got to create the content that you will be your vehicle. None of us are interesting enough or sexy enough or unique enough to just guarantee our path into a role that we want. It's just, a lot of it's dumb luck. You can decrease the luck and increase the opportunity by putting yourself in the right position, by having the energy and the commitment to yourself and your dream to get after it. As we say in the Army, fatigue makes cowards of us all. You run out of energy, you give up. And that's true of this. You've got to improve your emotional fitness and get the thick skin in order to keep going, because we all get demoralized to some degree. But yeah, owning your own content is the easiest way in. And I'm proof of that. Okay. This wasn't my dream. This is an accidental dream. I was very happy being a New York Times bestselling author. I lived on my farm in Tasmania. I loved it. I'm not really a people person. I'm friendly enough, but you know, you'll see me. I'm not super approachable. You know, it's so, you know, that's just who I'm. A book guy. If you don't sit in a room writing books, 30 books for 25 years, if you want to hang out with people. It's just not who I am. So I'm friendly, but I'm not sociable. Point is that in this journey to find my place and tell my stories and all the rest of it, I never planned to come to Hollywood. I just ended up here because I fell in love, God help me, with an American. So now I'm in Los Angeles, a guy who likes to have no one around him. I'm now in a city with more people than my entire country. And I was freaking out. And I was very happy when my beloved was there. But when she went away from work, and she was an architect building hotels and restaurants and rides in Tokyo and Paris and Orlando and Hong Kong, I was really miserable. And I just said, I can't be the person who's only happy when my beloved is around. I've got to fill that space for myself. And so I said, what can I do here in Los Angeles that I cannot do anywhere else in the world as good? Answer: television and film. All right, I'm going to do that. And I started working on that. And I also said, where can I find a wild place that makes me feel happy, like my native Tasmania? Where can I find that? Answer: Alaska. A lifetime dream to study brown bears. I didn't know anybody. Got on a plane, got on another plane, got on a seaplane and a ferry, and I got to Rangoon, didn't know anybody. No one spoke to me for the entire first year. And then the next year they found out I was elite military, and that means a lot to the Tlingit people, who believe that the journey from adolescence to womanhood and manhood requires service, martial service, develop friendships. Years later, led to various different things. And here was a breakthrough for my career. One was luck and one was hard work. And even the luck was based on hard work, really. The luck was that Chelsea Handler was dating a hunky wildlife expert, right? Big hunky, I think he was Canadian. And then they broke up and she kicked his ass off the show, Chelsea Lately. And then the producer was looking for someone new. And they said, we want someone with more credible conservation experience. And again, that's where the hard work comes in. I already put in 20 years running projects all around the world. So I had the chops. I'd given millions of dollars to charity for my books. A percentage of all my books goes back into wildlife conservation on every country where they're sold. So I had the credibility and I had the chops because I'd put in the work. I'd put in those decades of effort. And then, so they called Betty White because Hollywood's dysfunctional and that's who you call. And Betty White called LA Zoo, and LA Zoo said, BTG's in town. You should get him with zero TV experience. And so they brought me in for an interview and I got the job. And the funniest part was they said, yeah, we want someone who's credible, who's done the work and has the knowledge. But based on our previous experience, we also want someone that Chelsea Handler is not sexually attracted to. I was like, okay, thank you. But I took the job and ended up being the wildlife expert in residence for a couple of years until the show ended. And I loved it. And that led to an opportunity with Craig Ferguson on the Late Late Show. So now I had a little bit of quality national television experience. And then I got representation at UTA. Offers started coming in, small, weird things, but offers. And at the same time, I'd been adopted by the Tlingit. I had access to Native American land that no one else had been on for 400 or 500 years. Started bringing back evidence of a new subspecies of hybrid brown bear from the Ice Age, pitched that to Discovery. Took 2 years to get it up, but then we got it up. It became a documentary feature called Fear Island, Fortress of the Bears. And now I'm rolling. And then I got a couple of other wildlife projects. And this is years ago, I've been, just by sheer chance, I'd walked into Pixar, who wanted to hire me as a writer. And they were doing Finding Nemo. And Bob Peterson, who was the head of the story, looks at me and goes, oi, I can't do American accents. Oi, BTG, you're an Aussie, get in here. And that was it. I did a bunch of little voices for Finding Nemo. So I had a little bit of experience. But the larger point is, if you look at all these projects, I wasn't an actor. I was just being myself. I was a subject expert and I was the owner of the content. And that's how I wrote my ticket. So we get to Adventure Beast. Again, I'm the guy that created it. I'm the guy that writing it. There are other wonderful writers on the show. It's my version of my story and my perspective on nature. I've written my own ticket. I'm going to take that ticket. I'm going to punch the hell out of it and do the best I can. And Paulette is right. You know, we started off, I did the best I could. I learned so much along the way. A lot of it is having the right director and the right feedback. And one of the great things about working with Paulette is that even when we had a series of voice directors, and some were great and some not so great, Paulette would give me advice as well. And I grew and grew and grew. And then as soon as I could, I joined Mimi and Paulette for their master classes. I did intermediate and advanced, and that helped me enormously. We grew so much. We had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun. And I obviously, I wish I had done that before, not only for the technical skills and the knowledge, but also because for me, a subject expert and a content creator, it gave me permission to call myself an actor and have fun. And that helped me break off some of the emotional shackles and unleash parts of myself that I'd kept restrained, and my performances were so much better. I'm probably never going to be one of the great voiceover artists, but I can be a good voiceover artist. And that, coupled with my ability to create content, is going to get me opportunities.